Hi, welcome to another installment of Minds on the Markets. I'm Steve Cusin. This is a groundbreaking series. We wish we could take our teachers and students to the places we go, so we do the next best thing. We bring them into the classroom for you. Today we have a very special guest, Lynda Lazzari, who's a director at Deloitte & Touche. Welcome, Lynda. Thank you for being with us today. I'm going to begin the interview the way I always do. Tell us a little bit about your educational background and the career path which led to your present position.
I attended St. John's University, where I obtained a 4-year degree in accounting, and after graduating in 1990, I joined Deloitte & Touche as an audit staff in the audit practice of the company. While working as an auditor, I began to study and take the Uniform Certified Public Examination. Upon successfully completing that, coupled with my education and experience requirements, I received my CPA license. After 2 years, I was promoted to senior accountant, and at that point in time, I specialized in audits of investment vehicles. 3 years later, I was promoted to a manager, and a year after that, my husband and I had a son, and at that point in time, it was a decision that needed to be made. I needed to decide if I would like to work full-time or stay at home, but at Deloitte, they offered other alternatives, which I took advantage of. I decided to work part-time and remotely. So as a manager in the audit practice, I was able to manage both my career in the office as well as my home life. After about 4 years, I decided to go back full-time and into a different area within the organization, into securitization. That's where I received my promotion to senior manager, and then in 2007 to director.
Lynda, many of our students are talking about careers in business and finance and in accounting in particular. What are the long and short-range outlooks for jobs in this particular field?
The Bureau of Statistics projects a 15.7% growth for accountants from now until 2020. They're projecting that 190,000 jobs will need to be filled by accountants during that time period. So I think the outlook is really great.
What does the career ladder look like? Where does a recent graduate begin?
Well, in a public accounting firm, a recent graduate would begin in a staff position. And after working in that staff position for about 2 years, they'd be eligible for a promotion into a senior accountant position. And in that role, they would be starting to review others' work as well as coordinate with managers and partners within the organization. After about 3 years in that role, they're considered for promotion to manager. And after that, it's really up to the individual's own progression and abilities to see how far they can go. But senior manager typically would happen about 4 years after that, and then they could go onward and upward to partner or director.
Lynda, you mentioned public and private accounting. Could you differentiate between the two?
Public accounting is accounting done by an entity for another entity, and that includes accounting, tax, and management consulting work. There are various sizes of accounting firms that do this. You have small local accounting firms, and you also have large international accounting firms such as Deloitte. Private accounting is accounting done by an entity's own employees for that entity. When people refer to internal auditing departments or internal accounting departments, that is what they're referring to, private accountants. There's also government accountants. Those are accountants who work for the government in local, state, or federal positions.
Years ago, one of my fraternity brothers, who was strong in math, said he was considering accounting, but he wanted to go into a people profession. Is there much human contact, or is it just numbers crunching in accounting?
There isn't a field within accounting that doesn't offer human contact. As a staff person, you'll be working with co-workers and supervisors collectively in teams to deliver services to our clients. From an external perspective, you'll be working with the client as well. My personal goal as I progress through the firm is really to become a trusted advisor to my clients and a mentor to those on my team.
Lynda, what type of skills does a student need to be successful in accounting?
Leadership, communication, multitasking, the ability to work well in a team as well as independently.
What courses should a student take in high school and subsequently in college to prepare for a career in this field?
In high school, I would recommend that a student take courses either in accounting or any business-related courses, just so that they could get an insight a little bit into that business world. Most colleges and universities have programs with concentrations in accounting, supplemented by taxation, economics, and finance.
What type of degree should a potential accountant shoot for? Is a 2-year degree enough? 4-year degree? What about graduate study?
Well, there are many options a student has. You have a 2-year degree, which is an associate's degree in accounting. You also have a 4-year degree, a bachelor's degree in accounting, and then you have a graduate level degree or a master's degree, which typically takes a student up to 2 years after having obtained their 4-year bachelor's degree. With each degree, there are certain opportunities that would be available to a person. For instance, if your personal goal is to become a certified public accountant, then I would suggest that a person go on for a more master's or graduate study program, because one of the requirements is that you need a certain amount of educational credits in order to sit and successfully complete that exam.
It's not just the classroom. What about extracurricular activities for students who are interested in entering this field?
I would recommend that a student find an area that interests them and that they can develop some of the skills that we talk about that would help them to be successful. Communication skills, teaming skills, leadership skills. I would encourage them to be part in student activities or community groups, but not just be a member. Be the leader, really make an impact.
I know how important internships are. They give students a foot in the door. Are internships available in the accounting field, and if so, when should students apply for them?
Students should look to secure or attempt to secure an internship as soon as possible. Internships are valuable experience. Not only does it let the student have insights into the business world, but also access to professionals with years of experience. At Deloitte, we offer internships as soon as sophomore year. Although there are a limited number of accounting internships, I would recommend that a student look to get an internship in the business environment that would provide for learning and mentorship opportunities.
Lynda, we all know that nothing's perfect. Are there any downsides to a career in the field of accounting?
No matter which road you choose to go down in the accounting field, whether it's government, private, or public, there will be long hours, and travel may be necessary. A person needs to be diligent and flexible. Another aspect of the accounting industry is that it's constantly changing. You need to be up to date on technology and regulations. To me, those are challenges, but that's also what makes the industry interesting and dynamic.
Any employment tips for a student on how to get that first job?
Getting that first job is truly a daunting task. I would say while a student is in high school, they should think about ways to differentiate themselves through maintaining a high grade point average, getting internships with relevant experience, and being part in their community as leaders in different organizations. I would also suggest that a student take advantage of the resources on campus, such as the career counseling department. They could offer inroads into prospective employments. They offer alumni relations. Being prepared for your interview is key. Being prompt, dressing appropriately, and doing research on that company before you're being interviewed. This way you could ask insightful questions. I think the success of the interview really is the person trying to demonstrate that they have the skills that are necessary for that current position that they're interviewing for, and that they can demonstrate that they have the ability to progress within that particular organization.
You're juggling two careers, and I have to hand it to you. A career in accounting and one as a mother. How do you do it, and what advice do you have for our students?
Juggling both a career and family definitely takes dedication and flexibility. It is possible with the support of various working arrangements that organizations such as Deloitte offer nowadays to not just to mothers but to all their employees. Work-life balance is possible. Looking back over my 23 years with Deloitte, I can honestly say that I've had the best of both worlds. You know, having the ability to have a great career, to touch many lives, and on a personal level, I really feel that I've accomplished everything I've wanted to.
I'm curious, what does a beginning accountant do? Could you describe for us a day in the life of an entry-level accountant?
There are many different points of entry into an accounting organization. For instance, if a person comes into the audit group, they would be assigned to an engagement team. And after receiving the proper training, they would work with that team and audit financial statements. One of the financial statements that they would focus on would be the balance sheet. The balance sheet displays the company's or the entity's assets and liabilities. A typical auditor in their first year would focus their efforts on auditing the cash account.
Lynda, as we wrap up the interview, any bits of advice, parting words for our students considering a career in business and finance, and accounting in particular?
Accounting is truly the language of business. There's so many things you could do with an accounting degree. You could become a CEO or a CFO or a partner or director in a large organization like I am. There's so many things you could do with an accounting degree.
Lynda, Lazzari, once again, I'd like to thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. It really was a pleasure meeting with you.
And teachers and students, I'd like to thank you for joining us as well. I'm Steve Cusin for Minds on the Markets.